Morning, Simon. Thanks for joining so early. Morning, Phil. Morning. Oh. Whoa. Morning, David. Morning, Hal. Oh, sorry, buddy. Sorry. I won't be talking much during this, to be fair. Morning, Josh. How are you? Ah, cheers, Phil. It should be a good one then. Oh. Oh. Hello. Hello. Yeah, I can hear you. Right. Right, well, I'm on the bike now for about an hour. Well, send me a text. I'll be off soon, but just send me a text and I'll know. Because it'll take me half an hour to get to you anyway. Right on. Yeah. You feeling alright then, you? Right, good stuff. Okay. Yeah, right up. Ta-da. That was my dad. Gotta pick him up from the hospital at some point. He had his back operated on yesterday morning. Private hospital, because NHS is absolutely riddled with COVID at the minute, so they sent him to a private hospital. I dropped him off there yesterday morning at 7 AM. He had the operation yesterday midday and he's been discharged this morning. It's funny, isn't it? Even though I'm speaking to my dad is from Oxford. My dad's from Oxford. He definitely doesn't have any Welsh in him, in his accent. So, I'm glad that phone call was short. Cheers, Dad. Yeah, it all went well. Yeah, it all went well. That's the second time he's had that operation. Second time. Rightio. Don't think we're going to catch anybody, but it'll be interesting nonetheless. It's nice to do it inside a time trial. It gives me a little bit of motivation. So 11k this race is. Does that mean it finishes at the top of the climb? Am I right in saying that, you reckon? Right, oh. Oh, approaching start line. Where is the start line? This is it, yeah, is it? I gotta concentrate a bit in this. Oh. Heart rate slowly coming up, isn't it? Whew. Halfway through the first block. Two minutes to go. Feels like it's getting easier. One minute to go. Done. First block. Normalised power is 322 for that. 317 average. 321 normalised. 104% of FTP. Average heart rate 154. It's coming back a little bit, I think. My body's slowly remembering. Oh. Yeah, I think this time trial finishes at the top, but hopefully if I do another 10-minute block, it'll just get me through and over the top and then on the descent, but I won't be too bothered about keeping it specific on the descent. I'll just try my best. It's like our 7th consecutive day of rain today, guys. Oh. Another 4 minutes and we'll go again for another 10-minute block. I quite like the 15-15 format because it's, yeah, I mean, say what you like about it, but I enjoy it because it's so short. I dislike VO2. I gotta start somewhere, George. Gotta start somewhere. Keep an eye on the people going past me. See if we end up catching them in 3 minutes' time. Morning, Di. That's where you thrive. Certainly, yeah. Well, I actually trained for the British Hill Climb Champs when I won it on Hato. I actually trained for it like this because I wanted to spend more time being comfortable, basically at 420 watts. So I'm riding these intervals at like 400. So it's a good indicator as well for me. Whew. I'm actually more of a fan of the 50-30s. I like the 60-30s as well, to be honest. Two minutes. Yeah, 45-15, yeah. I mean, they're all gnarly, I mean. They're all gnarly. We all have our preferences. See what happens to my heart rate in this second block. It'll be interesting to see what happens to it. 1 minute to go. Ha! 60 minutes off. Oh, this would be the best place to start because they're quite short, you know, 15 seconds on, 15 seconds off. They're quite short, you know, for the intensity, you know. Intensity is not crazy for the 15 seconds. If anything, it's hardly anything. But it's just building blocks, isn't it? It's progressive. I was tempted to do 30-30s. I was like, it's just an extra stretch. At the minute, I don't want to overdo it with intensity in the week when I'm already building up. Like, anyway, 10 seconds. 5. I always feel like these intervals fly by because they're always counting down the time to the next one. Third of the way through, nearly. Oh. Here you die. I actually hate racing up this climb. I like training a bit. Yeah, exactly good. All halfway through. It might time this well actually. Morning, Lee. That's correct, Stuart. Did you lay up? Nice one. Hey, Andy. Up. They do say, Andreas, that if you're able to push more power at a higher cadence, it's a great sign of efficiency. However, It is very much personal preference. Very much. Don't let it control what you do. Last few minutes. Nice, Liam, nice. Ooh. Voila. Oh. Oh. What am I training for? Training for life. I'm training for a couple of events provisionally in the summer and autumn. That's what I'm actually training for at the minute. But, well, more specifically, I guess, I'm training to get my fitness back. So, which is obvious, isn't it? But I'm training for food. Training for food, cheese specifically, on the 1st of February. I wonder where I'm going to come out now on the results. Let's have a guess. Oh, could be a top 10. Would it be a top 10? No, I'm not using erg, I'm just counting the seconds. I was doing 50 seconds on, 50 seconds off. I wasn't using erg, I had it on my screen so that I don't have to look up at the TV all the time. And that I can see the average and normalise and everything. So yeah, no, that's all me, like, natural. Top 10, top 10. Ready? Oh, it's 12th. Cheers, Nils. I appreciate you coming here and talking about food and then going. That 4.9, like, for 24 minutes was the winning time, so. Cheers, Liam. Thanks for joining. I'm going to stick around. I'm going to keep live streaming for a little bit longer. Well, if you want me to. It depends what you're training for, innit, Josh? If you're training to win the Tour de France, you're probably better off having small, like, the gaps between them aren't so big, because you'll be surging up hairpins and you'll be settling into a high tempo, surging, follow attack, settling back into high tempo. But I mean, these aren't race specific, really, unless you're doing like a fixed gear crit, which somebody who I have is doing, actually, fixed gear crit racing. These are great for that because it's kind of really low power, soft tap on the pedals coming into a corner, bang, kicking out of it, back into low corner, bang. So these are more for interval sessions, like they're not exactly. 29 minutes? What do you mean? What do you mean? Up then top. Oh, in 29 minutes time. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, the event in 29 minutes. Well, I might have to pick my dad up from hospital, so I can't commit to an event. So I'll just keep riding until it's time. Which hill climb win, Chris? So far it is. Sorry, buddy. Oh, that one. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I got some hate over that. It. That was actually like my third fastest time up the epic. That's right. Yeah, Ellison was in it. Kenny Ellison. I got some backlash over it because I did, like, my watts per kilo were massive, but it was no different than what I do out on the road. I think the difference with that one was because I wasn't in the draft, my time was quite slow in comparison to my personal best. I think I've raced up the epic with 6 watts per kilo in a group. Well, I'll show you now, George. When we get to the bottom, I'll show you what trailer setting I got on. Because I'll change it actually for the climb back up. Yeah, no, I was going well then, Chris. I was going well then. I attribute a lot of like that high performance that I've done, the high performances I've done, off the back of this sort of training, which has kind of been like the cherry on the top. It doesn't mean you can't use it any other time, but because I've never trained like this before, I'd never, like up until like a year ago, like I'd never done these sort of sessions. I think they just weren't like commonplace. Yeah, let me show you the training difficulty then. So this is what I've been on for a while. So there it is there. So it's about, what's that? 30%, 25%, 30% maybe? 30% training difficulty. So I'm going to actually put that to max now. Just so that I can ride up a climb at a different cadence really. Yeah, cheers Chris, cheers. So yeah, that's why I was able to hold the power you saw there on the graph quite steadily, because I had it set so low really. But because on my head unit I've got 5-second average and Zwift's power is set to instant, I'd say that, you know, looking at the head unit power is probably easier. It's so much easier riding endurance up a climb like this when you've got 100% training difficulty. I just want a bit of variety. It does, George, especially if you're not used to it. Like, especially if you're not used to it. Cheers to the ride on Dan. Dan asks, how would you advise power training while a calorie deficit to lose body fat? I would have like green and red days. If I were you, that would be the easiest way to distinguish. So your green days, you'd maintain calorie balance with what you're burning and eating. Those days will be your hardest ride, and your red days will be like your easiest ride. Or your endurance ride, for example, and you could restrict your calories just a little bit then. But I like, you know, don't be, if you want to make it a long-term thing, don't restrict them too much, but also don't restrict on the days when you're working hard. Well, Nicola, everybody's different. I wouldn't say they're better. They work for some people, they don't work for others. Try them, they're certainly good, like they're certainly interesting. Cheers, Dan. How often do I have an unexplained bad day? When I was racing, like, racing as in, like, say doing a stage race is a great example. If I was to do like an 8-day stage race, 7-day stage race, which I did a fair few of, I'd usually have one day where, like, my legs would feel blocked. And that happens now as well, but you don't see it as much because the race either doesn't, like the Zwift races either don't have a crunch point. But it's different because usually I think those block leg days, like they were caused by travel, I think, more than anything. I know, like, when I don't think I have bad leg days or bad days. I think I have days where I'm tired, but nowadays it's more a case of me just saying, well, if I don't feel great, then I won't bother. Oh, well, not that I won't bother. Like, I'll go through the motions. I'll try it. You know when some people say, like, even the days where I don't feel like it, I do it, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, sugarcoat it there. I think we've been made to think that you need to do that. But I certainly think if you go through the motions, if you have a bad day and you've got intervals, try the intervals. If they're not happening, knock it on the head, do your duration, but just do it as low intensity. So you've still got something out of the session or the ride, and you're not putting yourself in a hole at the same time. Oh, my dad's just texted. Ah, cheers, Ollie. Thank you. Actually, Josh, you want to read a book? Send me a message on Discord, and I'll take a picture of the book for you. It's a really good book, and it tries to explain why we have really good days out of nowhere, and why we also have really bad days out of nowhere. And sometimes you can't explain it, but it tries to get down to the. Do you know? Like, I'm reading it, and it's like. I'm reading it again, actually. But years ago, they used to think that the brain had no had no say in your like physical ability, like your VO2 max, and things like that. And you know, like pushing to such a high level, they used to just think that if you had it, you had it. But if you didn't, like you weren't able to get to the next level. And they obviously found then that the brain plays a massive part in shutting you down before you get past the point. Kyle, I think if I was you, I wouldn't rush. Like, there's no rush with it. Like, I've not, like, well, let's work it out. So I came down with symptoms. I had a month of no riding. Then I rode 1 week where I just did like 15-20 minute rides. And then, so that's 5 weeks. The 6th week I did the Festive 500. And then The 7th week I did some training. The 8th week I did the FTP test, and this is the 9th week now. It's only now I'm starting to feel like the sessions are fine, like I'm handling them well. I mean, I was handling them well last week, but it's such a shock to the system when you're doing such a low power. Just have a light spin on a rest day, Nick. You might be someone who actually doesn't need rest days as much as you think. Yeah, I think the link to the Discord's down below, Charlie. You might have heard of the book actually, Josh, but yeah, George, sack off the threshold. Sack off the zone 4 intervals. Yeah, I know people that don't do zone 4 intervals at all. If you read that book, I'll mention it in my next video if I remember. If you read that book, or in fact, you can leave a comment down below on this video and ask me what is that book, and then I'll put it down below. But if you read that book, it could offer you like some kind of valid explanation to your coach, or to anybody really, because when I used to race and I used to have a bad day, it's really hard to describe it. You just kind of say, well, I don't know, my legs weren't there, or I didn't feel good, and it's like, well, what do you mean you didn't feel good? Like, how does that, like, what does that mean? Ah, nice, Josh, nice. I think I better end it there, actually. Only because I better go and pick my dad up from hospital before before he goes insane. Yeah, I better go, because then I can resume training later today. And I got a parcel coming as well from Bang the Climbers at like 11 or 12, so I don't want to miss that either. So, yeah, cheers, Josh. I'll make a note of it. I'll make a note of it. Yeah, like I said, sorry, I better scoot off. Just to be fair, that's private healthcare for you, isn't it? I mean, he was literally, I dropped him off there like 24 hours ago, and he's already had an operation on his back, and now he's ready to be discharged. Nothing against the NHS, obviously. NHS is brilliant. Charlie works hard in the NHS, and so do a lot of the followers I know. So it's just crazy when money talks, isn't it? Yeah, I won't miss the set. I'll probably do more later today, but I'm just gonna have to make it fit. So you're seeing real life problems, here. I hope you enjoyed that. Anyway, yeah, I mean a little bit of insight into another session I'm doing on the road to recovery. Don't read a lot into it. A lot of people ask questions like, is this the best thing to do to recover? It's like, well, not necessarily. You could mix things up, especially on your road to recovery. I think it's better to mix things up because you can easily you know, be demotivated when you get back into it. So anyway, cheers Rob, yeah, cheers Jason, cheers Charlie, cheers Vanny, nice one Jam Brown. Yeah, I'll show you the goodies. I'll show you the goodies. They want me to show you the goodies. Right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. I'll see you soon.